What's up? I'm back. Wanted to finish up on this new kingdom, and just to finish it up, I'm just gonna summarize this little part right here. It goes into pretty much talking about how we don't ask for more wisdom, we don't ask for deeper wisdom. We just try to ask for quick fixes. And I already kind of talk about that, and then it goes on to say like you might you go on hoping that the outcome of the outer world will change versus the inner self will change. So you will want the people around you to change before you'll change. So you'll be hoping for somebody better to come into your life that'll be more like you than you just being a better person and understanding people better. But it just go to show you I lack understanding. And then it go on and say um, the spirit if a simple statements was changed, the whole condition might. And then this goes on to say, it may be the spirit, it may be that your finances or things that are not going right. There might be a certain factor, certain people connected with affairs that you think if they would change their mind or if they would just leave or anything, I'll get into it more. They'll eliminate if or eliminate a new influx of power would come. Oh yeah, they say, or if they'll change their mind, or if they were eliminated, a new influx will come. And really, what they're just saying is like when you keep changing job to job and keep hoping that you'll find a better job that will be able to work with you, it go to show you how your mind is. And same with people. If you just keep jumping boyfriend to boyfriend, not realizing the problem is you and not them, you'll understand. And all problems come from self because you wouldn't even been dating them if you were good with yourself. But now that you kind of growing up, you now starting to realize what their problem is. But the true problem came from self. And they go if you were working with people that wasn't good or anything like that. I could say for my own example, I was working with a tax lady, and her daughter even said she wasn't gonna pay me, and I could tell she wasn't paying her bills and she wasn't paying the people that she owed. So I knew that I could possibly be whole, which I did, but I still made enough money for myself where I didn't get hurt. But I was aware of the things going on and I knew what could possibly happen. And it did happen. And for a minute I really wanted all my money because I just felt disrespected. But I had to realize, bro, I got it. I'm good. I came up enough that I needed to, and I realized that I just need to do better for myself. And people not gonna ever look out for you and the good of you. And that's the same thing as good rich, what the fuck is it called? Good rich dad poor dad, rich dad poor dad. I'm about to say good dad bad dad or some shit, I don't know, but it's called rich dad poor dad, and it's the same aspect. You'll keep hopping from place to place, situation to situation. Things are going to change, but you have to change. And that's how I had to realize I can't keep working for people because, bro, I literally had like 20 jobs and it just doesn't work for me. And like I said, I ended up having to come with my own foundation and realizing what I wanted to do, and that was create for myself and for the people around me, and we could work together. But I'm not trying to work for people that don't have the same interests as me in life. Like, for one more example, for her, like, she always wanted to rent Bentleys for, like, she'll want to rent a Bentley or something on Valentine's Day and some stupid shit like that. Like, she was hella materialistic, had all the J's, the kid has all the J's. They was fresh, but I mean, your foundation ain't shit because, you overspending and just not right in the mind. But, yeah, but just to wrap that point up, like, we'll hope that people like that will change. People that are materialistic will change, but you got to know that they won't. That's who they are. And even if and they say you can wish evil upon them, but they might be doing just as much good in their life as you're doing in your life. So just like I said, they was eating, they living good. She might be taking care of a bunch of different people, but since I'm not in her immediate family, she'll hold me. She'll hold another nigga that, just a nigga. Like, but in the same aspect, just because she holding me don't mean she holding the whole world and holding her whole society. But she doing what's best for herself and what she deemed better for herself. And then through that same reality, you gotta do that for yourself. So it go to show, it was saying pretty much don't take so much offense towards people in their ways because they're doing what they consider best for themselves. And if that's what they're doing better, if that's what they consider better for themselves, you just gotta let them be in a sense and do better for yourself if it's not gonna align to your needs. Like, if you got people that's around you stealing and shit, you can't get mad at them. You gotta realize, bro, these people are hungry, unclothed, cold, whatever. Just like they need that shit. They don't know how to act because they're weak. So it's like you can't even mad at them, and you can even work it out with them because you know what they truly want when it comes to shit like that. But it's just going to understand who people are and not taking shit to offense because people people humanly ways will get to him. That's like, think about Jesus versus the disciples. He knew all his disciples would turn on him, but, and I'm using this in a physical term and not the term of himself, but he knew the disciples would turn on him because they had humanly ways, and he didn't get mad because, I mean, that's a part of humanity. Like, that's what humanity does, and it is part of having a deeper consciousness, and like you said, asking for a deeper wisdom around what can you really do. Like I said, I wanted freedom. Had to realize, bro, only freedom gonna come through myself, bro. Relying on other people, trying to get other people help, not gonna work, bro. And if you're not really in the business plan and shit like that, bro, you really just a pawn in the game. And if you're a pawn in the game, bro, you don't got no control. And I realized that real early. Let's see. And I really wanted to wrap that up because it kind of got it wordy. But that's pretty much what they were saying. Certain people are connected to your affairs, or if you wish to eliminate power come. You can have no life in your finances, and let me see, I think I fucked up. You can have no life in your finances and see that, and yet you're helpless to change the conditions. Yeah, you can have no life, whatever, but like you said, a lot of people will be helpless because they're just looking for somebody else or another opportunity instead of looking for like yourself as an opportunity, looking at yourself as an opportunity. Because if you had art or some shit like that, you can guarantee one of these white people gonna look at you like, oh damn, nigga, I can use you, I can work with you, I can make some money off you. So why you not looking at yourself like that? And you, like I said, you don't be looking to prostitute yourself and make money through sexual needs. Now, if you can sell your art and do things that express yourself and show who you really belong to and what you really come from, that's cool. But watch how you selling your art too. Just don't be selling it to people that wouldn't care how it's displayed or shown, because we get this a lot. Like, you might say some shit, but if you talking to these media people, they'll twist your words up. Or if if they catch a snippet or something, they'll cut it up and they'll display it to the people how they want. So you got to also watch who you give your art to, not just what you say in your art, because it also, I mean, you only can be in control of it so long, because once you die and shit, people can change your art and shit like that. But they're just going to the system we in, and people being able to copyright and shit like that. But still go to, it's like, bro, you don't want your art just in the wrong people's hand, bro, because you could have had this grandest message, but now that shit turned into materialism, because that's all you gotta do is because you gotta think, people do it all the time. They'll make a song, then they make a video, and then the video represents what people really think the song mean, and that's because it's more of a visual learning lesson. So you connect to the video more than the actual words in the song, and it just go to show you what we in and how we learn and shit like that, though. But let's keep reading. Let me go back to the notes because I don't want to skim through it. I'll be here all day. Yeah, trying to change, hoping the outside world will change before you do. That's what I pretty much just read. Like, it's not. You gotta be strong as fuck. You can't, like, no matter who come in your life, you gotta realize you can outsmart them, outthink them, and they can't hold you or manipulate you, because you always in your best interest. You always got your best interest. You're not doing shit out of fleshly needs. You're not doing shit out of fleshly weaknesses. You always doing shit out of the rightness and out of your spirit. And if you're doing that, bro, you operating from the inside. But yeah, and then if you bro 100% confident that no weapon should prosper and nothing can stop you, bro, you'll realize nothing in the outside world can harm you. It's just a lesson that you'll have to go through, if anything, if you can't see past it. Alright, stop making excuses and dive into deeper wisdom and create for yourself. Purify your mind, self-reliance. Okay, let's page 25. Okay, yeah, it goes into it. This mind is fire, evil thoughts, error thoughts, flesh thoughts, ignorant thoughts, absolutely consumed, burned up. And when you know how to call this action the fire of the mind, you have added to your great illumination, purifying, cleansing. And that just go back into, after the harvest over, that's when you start to go into the purification, because after the harvest, you see what the seeds came out to be. Like, say you planted some seeds and didn't know what they was, you couldn't cut them at the when they was before the flowering stage and the harvesting stage. So you got to wait till they fully harvest. And once they harvest and you see they nothing but weeds that's gonna take from the nutrients of your soil, then you get rid of them, then you burn it. Okay, and this consciousness exists as a spiritual fire, and that fire is righteous because it's living and observing, and it's going through the right cycles. It's not trying to skip cycles. It's not trying to avoid cycles. It's just observing cycles, and that's really what we out here trying to do. through time and through everything. We learn through cycles, observe through cycles. Sometimes we call it not wise. Sometimes it's not wise to call into an expression before you're sure your thoughts are burned up. Some thoughts seem adverse and are really at the core good, and I talk about that already. And we should be a little bit careful about burning up conditions, burning up thoughts, burning up people. I know who those would. Like, say if I burned up that tax lady in the sense of I went to go get my money, I demanded the money that she owed me, and I was just like, fuck it, just stood at her door every day. The amount of time I would have took, the amount of energy I would have wasted, I probably would spend more money trying to do that than anything. So in that same aspect, I learned from her just to be a bigger man. Like, honestly, bro, it's like she really acting dumb. She really act like she don't know that she owed me this money. Because, bro, doing door-to-door knocking and shit, I knew that people can hold you with your money and the people that you get to sign up for your shit. So you always got to write your shit down. So from my experiences, I knew that I can't be hold because I've already been through this pyramid scheme shit. So the fact that I'm in your shit ain't no different. I'm going to write down my shit. I'm not going to treat you no different than I treated these people in that scheme. And it's the same shit. And I learned from my ways. I knew I had a receipt of all my people. I had their number. I could have called them and asked them if they received their money. I could have did a lot of shit, but I'm like, bro, at the end of the day, is it worth it? And that taught me how to be a bigger person. And through that, she burnt up now because, like, bro, she get no energy from me, really, bro, like, nothing. She just see how I shine. To shine to spite her, honestly, because, I mean, she helped, but she could have been, like, bro, in fact, like, with how I look at myself, bro, I'm an addition to a lot of people's lives. I can just amplify your shit because I can see the things you're doing wrong. Just like myself. Like, I amplify myself and I see the things I do wrong. So if you got a couple things, flaws in your business, bro, I can make you a millionaire or a billionaire, especially if you got the passion and the mind to listen, bro. We could have been successful together, but she rather do her own thing and think that she know everything, so it is what it is. And there's been a lot of people like that I work for. They think they know everything, so when I try to implement it and do my own shit, they always try to go against me. So I'm like, well, let's create for myself. It's just a part of the process. And think about burning up all those jobs and didn't learn from why I wanted to burn them up. Like, I would have kept trying to find other jobs and burning them up. Like, and that's just a part of acting out of, like, fiery passion. And it's like, you got to sometimes sit back and realize, like, why you getting these things and look at the bigger picture. I know those who like their enemies to burn right up. Honestly, bro, you would want your enemies to burn right up, but the reason they're an enemy because you have weaknesses. They wouldn't be that, like, a rival can't be your rival till they beat you. So an enemy ain't really your enemy till you feel like they can destroy you and they know one of your weaknesses. So it really just go a lack of yourself and not being able to protect yourself. Bro, if you was 100% protected, and that's in the sense of God, you wouldn't have no enemies. But the fact that you're not 100% connected shows that you're not 100% protected. And their realms may be good. Because, like I said, and then they said your enemies because in their realms they may be good. And we already talked about that, bro. They might be doing some shit in their world versus our world. And I said that, like, this world is due to perspective, bro. Your perspective might be being whole, but her perspective is surviving. So if she's surviving for her kids and making sure, like, say she spending her money stupidly, I mean, that's her reality. So now she got to survive from that shit. So in that same aspect, she's not going to pay me, but she doing good for her kids, even though it's not out of a bad foundation, but it is what it is. So she's still doing good, bro. So, and that's with anybody. Say your boyfriend, girlfriend, they break up with you, cheat on you, bro. They doing it out of their will and their heart. And they had the passion to do it. They really wanted to do it. They just didn't have the big enough nuts to tell you that they were going to do it. And that's a big problem with a lot of people, bro. Like, we want to do things, but we don't have the balls to really go through it. And even if we do it behind closed doors with, which even make that even more wrong, because it's like, behind closed doors in the sense of you scared to you're not even comfortable with yourself doing it, in a sense. Like, you be mad at yourself that you did it. So in that same aspect, like, if somebody else find out, you'll be crushed because you trying to keep that shit in the dark from yourself. Like, you ashamed you did it, but it's like, nigga, why did you do it? You enjoyed it at first, or you wanted to do it at first, and it just go to show how people burn up they crops and shit and not really learning from the things that they go through, bro. And that go into, like, when you constantly trying to change how you feel, those are affirmations, good or bad. And just like I said, perspective. This world have so many different perspectives. It turns into hell because it's not connection. Like, everything not connected to everything, in a sense. Like, it's really just not. Like, when you go back to source, everything runs together, in a sense. So it's just different. But here, people thoughts sometimes don't merge. They go against each other. It feels like it's not enough room for each other, and that's just because this is how this reality was set up. And I mean, until we can really get our space and our freedom and our, like, just get out this restriction, we won't realize how powerful we are, and don't realize we don't need to fight for space, because there's space everywhere. But on to the next video.